Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Alicia, and if you don't know, on this channel we talk all things luxury, beauty and travel. So if you're interested in any of those categories, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell down below so you never miss a video that I upload. So today's video, we are actually going to be doing a review of the YSL Opyum Pumps. Now, I bought these pumps in June of 2020, so I've owned them for just over a year. We're going to talk about the shoe and the design itself, whether these shoes are comfortable, and if I could go back in time, would I buy them again? So first, we are going to start with what comes with the shoe when you first purchase it. So obviously, we have the box itself, and then inside the box, we also do have a copy of the receipt. Now, at the time of purchase, these shoes were $1,665. However, they do retail for $1,710 now. Keeping in mind, those are Australian prices. Now, we have the dust bag. This pair of shoes, they just provide the one dust bag for both shoes. And then we have the gorgeous shoe itself. So if you can't tell, these are the YSL Opyum Pumps in black patent leather with a gold toned heel. So these are absolutely gorgeous. So like I previously said, these are the YSL Opyum Pumps in black patent leather with a gold toned heel. Now they are 11 centimeters high or 4.3 inches. Now I do know for a fact there is a 9 centimeter variation in this particular style, but I don't really have a justification for picking the 11 centimeter over the 9 centimeter, so I can't really go into that for you guys. So next we're going to discuss what is probably the most unique aspect of this pair of shoes, and that is the heel itself. So the heel on this pair of shoes incorporates the YSL logo, as you can see. And as far as I'm aware, there's no other luxury brand on the market that actually does this with their heels. What I will show you though is how the heel is attached to the sole, and this is something to keep in mind. So as you can see, the heel is almost either super glued in or it's screwed into the sole, which means it does have the potential to separate from the sole of the shoe. And I think that would only happen if you wear the shoe a lot and you kind of are a bit more rough or in more rugged terrain per se with these shoes. But that's something that I don't think will happen to my pair of shoes, and I'm going to go into detail about that in a second. Now, the sole of this shoe is quite simple. It's just a simple black sole. And if I come up close, you can probably see that there is very little impact on the sole of my shoe, which is probably an indication of how little I've actually worn this shoe. And then we also have the toe box that goes from here to here. Again, not a very large toe box, but also not very small. You do get a little bit of toe cleavage, so that's something to consider. If you don't want to be looking at your own toes like that, then maybe this is not the shoe for you. But again, it's just that the tiniest bit of cleavage, which I'm 100% okay with, hence the reason why I do have these shoes. Now, YSL, generally speaking, do make fairly comfortable shoes. Unfortunately, this pair, not one of them. So since owning these shoes, keeping in mind it's been about 12 months, I've probably worn these shoes half a dozen times. And I do accept that COVID probably played a role in that, in terms of we're not going out to large kind of style events, but I definitely do still frequent restaurants. So the opportunity is definitely there for me to wear these shoes, but I will only put these shoes on if I know there is limited amounts of walking. And when I say limited amounts of walking, I'm referring to from the car to the restaurant and then sitting the entire time at the restaurant, and from then the restaurant back to the car. Now, if there is any chance that after dinner or after lunch I'm going to go for a walk or I'm going to go for a stroll, no chance. And am I going to be wearing these heels out? Now, I haven't exactly pinpointed, I guess, why it's so uncomfortable. I don't know whether it's the heel or the height. Those are kind of the only two things I can like pinpoint them to. Typically, I am used to a 10 centimeter heel, so it might be that extra centimeter is a bit uncomfortable for me, or it might be the fact that it's such a wide heel. So typically I'm used to a very thin stiletto heel, which this heel is still very thin, but it's just very wide going this way. It's also not a consistent heel because the width is different at different points of the heel. Obviously it is steady, so it has nothing to do with how the heel is attached. but for me, they're just not comfortable shoes in general. Now, the other thing to note is it is patent leather. Patent leather, unlike some materials, does not stretch with general wear. So I have a narrow foot, and at times this particular pair of shoes can actually be quite tight around my foot, and it can get uncomfortable. So something else to consider when buying patent leather. So because of the color of these shoes, they're really easy to style. You can wear it with anything. Again, you can wear it with skirts, dresses, pants, whatever you like. They're really easy to style purely because it is a neutral color. Now we're going to talk about that question I wanted to ask myself at the start of the video, which was, would I buy these shoes again if I could go back in time? And the simple answer is probably not. So you have to remember that these shoes are not cheap. There are cheaper luxury options in the market. These are, at the time of purchase, were just a little over $1,600. They are now $1,700 for this particular pair of shoes. And for that, I would kind of hope that I would have reached for it a lot more. I don't really get wear out of it, like I previously said. I generally only wear these shoes for 2-3 hours at a time, and then they come off. If I'm going to drive, I will bring another pair of shoes. I will not drive in heels kind of at all, whether they're the most comfortable heels or the most uncomfortable heels. I do not drive in heels. But do I regret buying these shoes? Definitely not. I think these shoes are so unique and they're such a statement piece. So I think they're a really good piece to have in my collection now that it's already there. I'm not a big person who tends to resell any luxury goods I have. I kind of just keep them all because I do think that because at one point in time I did want to buy this pair of shoes and I did go ahead and buy it, that I think there'll always be use for it in my wardrobe. So I don't regret buying it because, you know, I've already bought it, and now that I do own it, I do love them. But if I could go back in time and know that, you know, I would only wear it 6 times in 12 months, then probably not. So have you thought of getting these shoes before? Or maybe you thought of getting the open-toed sandal variation. Did you actually take that leap and buy it? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Bye bye!